15. Just give us 15 people. You need four more jackets.
No, we are at your service.
Amos, where's your own jacket?
My name is Mitri Nsingo. He's the project manager responsible for projects.
Yes, sir. Give him sorry, can we...
So, are you all right? Which station are you?
Àwọn tó fẹ́ security fẹ́ tẹ̀lé wa kọ́lẹ̀ jíjá padà sọ́kọ̀.
Mínísítà náà ṣe mínísítà.
Mínísítà wà sí mínísítà.
Àwọn tó máa ṣe mínísítà pé àwọn mínísítà orí ilẹ̀ làwọn lè máa ṣe. Wọ́n tọ́ èsì fún wa.
Àwọn sójà ẹni káwọn sójà wà lókè ẹ̀yìn wá sàn.
A ní ìdí wọn bí i.
I'm telling you, but what I'm saying, let me just fulfill all this thing, righteousness by sending your number to me. But then I beg anything, I refer you understand?
go come down and let me go balance. We see the waka like this. Eh,
No, we go and tell them, my friend. Both. Yes, both. Speed boat. Eh? This one is still a boat.
Tomorrow.
Kaduna Zaria Kalu project, and his coming made a lot of impact and even restored the confidence of Gbajabiamila, the contractor. Today we are inspection of critical bridges in Lagos State, and after that we'll be going to Lagos Ibadan Expressway to see the remaining. Now we are currently working on a number of projects. We came on board, UNILAG was awarded the restoration of the Eko Bridge, Liverpool Bridge, part of the Gamu Bridge is it. And administration is continuing with the project. And I want to say that Mr. President graciously approved the release of funds, which was not paid for over 8 months. And the Honorable Minister for Finance has also released the fund. And so UNILAG is happy and are working. And I think we have paid, up to 80% of the fund. They're working there. And now on the mainland Bridge, Tata Bridge, and is it Ido Bridge? Ido, yes, Bridge. We have inspected Tata Bridge and we've inspected mainland Bridge. Now, let's start with the mainland Bridge. We have critical elements of the bridge structure that we are restoring. One is the deck. The deck over years, it's been decorated on top with varying thickness of asphalt, which provided undesirable super elevation and a lot of potholes ranging from 1 foot thickness to 6 inches thickness. Whereas the bridge was designed to carry only 2 inches of asphalt overlay. Now, Mr. President has graciously approved that the comprehensive work, 11 kilometers by 2 carriageways, and of course, each carriageway consists of about 4 lanes, be done, and the Honorable Minister has directed that, money be released immediately. And so we're doing that, and then we're going to change all the light to solar. We are going to put CCTV both under the bridge and on top of the bridge. We are remarking the finished work, and of course, we are also painting the curbs. So it's going to be a classic, beautiful reinstated bridge when we finish, and it's been done by CCACC. I can say that I've done over 30%. We are looking at March, April to complete that work, and we apologize to negotiants and Nigerians for any inconveniences they would have noticed. That is also for their own safety, because should we allow the bridge to be the way it is, if there is overturning, then there could be skidding and all kinds of accidents. So we don't want that to happen. And so under the bridge, we inspected, the mainland bridge. Now we have the slab elements. Some of the slab elements are deflected, but there's nothing to worry about. We are going to reinstate those deflected slabs. UNILAG is working on the design, and so that is one element. Then you now come to the second element, which is the pier, or in ordinary language, the columns. The columns are being carried by the pier cap. The pier cap is carried by the pies, and the pies being carried by steam friction driven to the point of point where the steam friction is good enough to hold the pies. So we are not driving the pies to point of the freezer, or we can't see a rock. Now, over the years, after the building of the bridge, there was no maintenance. So the piers or the columns, some of them deteriorated, and you can see the rods. And the moment the rods are full, you start seeing rust. And that is, catalyst, for the failure of the bridge. So we are working on that. That's Gbajabiamila. Then you go down to the pier cap. Pier cap has 2 elements: the covering and the main pier cap. So a lot of them, have also deteriorated, and that's what Gbajabiamila is doing. The last job that Gbajabiamila is doing is to go under the water, and they go to the riverbed and see what is going on there. A lot of the pipes carrying the bridges, a a lot of them have, deteriorated. The rods of the pipes are exposed, which means the casings are gone. And again, over the years, due to, high current of the river and also scavenging, of the digging, and dredging of the sand, we have a situation in which the effective length of the skin friction is reduced. So they are going to do a design for us after the inspection to see what is going on there. And that's about the top mainland bridge. And then we go to Kata Bridge. The Kata Bridge does not have problem of the slab. It doesn't have problem of the piers, to a very large extent. But the worst of it is what is going on below the water, and then the pier caps and the coverings. They are all almost gone. And I'm happy that the Honorable Minister, has seen all of them. And then the shore protection. The shore protection on the marina is a very serious danger that God will not allow to happen. Even the, the blue light or the light ray, blue line, is being threatened. Yeah, it's been threatened and a lot of facilities along the shoreline. That job has been scoped, it's not been discussed, it's not been given out. Because in the budget, it's just about $1 billion, but the initial submission is about 146 billion. So it's something that needs urgent attention. So if you have questions to ask me, you can, and then we yield to Honorable Minister. Yeah. We have what we call HDMI. That's Highway Development, Management Initiative. And so it's built on a green field whereby an investor comes and takes up, a road and build afresh and toll it and maintain it and get money from that, give federal government and take part of it for maintenance. Then we have the one on brownfield where you give to investor the existing completed roads. So the Lagos Ibadan falls under the brownfield. And the moment we give out, maintain and operate, then it becomes what you are talking about will be done. Part of the infrastructure for that is that there will be solar light all through. And part of the highway where we have, CCTV, and we have service stations where you drive, you can park, you can take some snacks, then filling stations and so on and so forth. So within that location, you are going to have a viewing point where you view all the entire route. And so if somebody is shooting, we have security and we have vehicle that we move immediately and they get the person, arrested. So we are going to take care of the entire, corridor, the moment that is done. And I think by this Monday, the advertisement for people to bid will be out. We don't really believe that we have a lot of investors who can take up a brand new road, and they do. But I think we have investors that can, invest in the remaining, road architecture, like you said, by bringing security, solar light, and some of these relief facilities. Yeah. Yeah. Next week, Beja is starting next week. They will mobilize in, at Tom Mainland Bridge, and they will mobilize at Kata Bridge. And the Acacia is up and doing the control of Lagos, and they will directed that next week they must start because critical projects that is time bound. So they're going to do that. On top of the bridge, Tom Mainland Bridge, I can just say excellent work. Beautiful work by Acacia, the controller, Wase, the director in charge of the bridges, and the DCCs is excellent work. And we've been getting a lot of accolades from Lagosians. Very hopeful and very happy, on what will be the end result of the bridge. But we assure them that before the end of April, they will start using their bridges again. 146. Yes. The problem is the work. Standing here with me is our boss. It's his problem to bring the money. So he may not talk about the money, he may not make commitment, but seeing is believing, and he has taken pictures of this critical infrastructure. And that is his job, to go around the projects that he's funding, and this is the first of his kind. you know, because the coordinating minister of the economy, you know, it's not just to give out money. He has to see what the money is going for. He can stop a project to say, look, I'm not satisfied with this. So he's the man in charge of the entire economy. If he feels that this shoreline, if he collapses, that he's going to spend like $1 trillion to reset it, then it's up to him. But you know, mine is to show him the problems, and his own is to look for the money.
And good afternoon. Let me start by thanking and also commending my colleague, my brother, Honorable Minister for Works, Senator David Umahi, and indeed the rest of his team, the directors, the controllers, the designers, and those supervising what we have seen at Third Mainland Bridge and what we have also seen in terms of the coastal road, the beginnings of the coastal road this morning. They're doing a brilliant job, not only of designing, keeping a strong eye on the design of these projects, but also the implementation. And in addition, from what I can see, they're driving a hard bargain in terms of the costing. So kudos to them, but also to their partners, Bidwell, Julius Baja, and even CCCC, who are doing Third Mainland Bridge. I think seeing is believing, and I've seen very good work so far. And in terms of the critical repairs that need to be done to the bridges, Eko Bridge, Third Mainland Bridge, Qatar Bridge at Edun, and the protection of the shoreline, including the fact that the blue line is right by the shoreline. So if the shoreline goes, everything above it goes. What we have seen, as they say, is stitching time saves 9. So the spending that we necessarily have to do is money well spent. It is economical, it's sensible, it's practical, it is the right thing to do. And Mr. President's commitment is to get the economy growing again. And one of the key things is infrastructure, mobility, transportation, logistics. And when we talk about roads and bridges and highways, we are talking about the basic infrastructure that you need to get the economy growing again. So we have to find the money. We will find the money. There has been a change in the finances of Nigeria. Some of the things that are going to come out as benefits are not yet apparent, and quite a lot of the pain is. And these are transition steps that are being taken. But at the end of the day, we can look forward with confidence to a bright future, beginning with restoration of economic growth, of jobs, of reduction in poverty. And yesterday and today, what we have done is we have come to reaffirm that our priorities in terms of spending are not misplaced. And looking at Third Mainland Bridge, looking at the critical repairs that need to be done, whatever we do to mobilize the funds will not be misplaced. You asked us, and it's always important that one answers the question that is asked. Where will we find the money? The number one place is the changes that were made, the hemorrhaging that was stopped in terms of the spending that was wasteful and that was only benefiting a small minority in terms of the 2% of GDP that was spent on fuel subsidy. That was the number one leakage that was stopped. But in addition, we have to encourage NNPC and all the security forces at a time of high oil prices to push up oil production and oil sales. And in between that, there's a whole range of improvements, digitization, computerization, application of technology and systems to ensure that what is due to the government on behalf of the people of Nigeria is not going into a few pockets, it is coming into the common pocket. There are a whole number of things, tax measures and so forth. And I'll just end by saying that what we are committing to and we are targeting and working towards is a 77% increase in internally generated revenue for the federal government. So there is where the funding particularly is going to come from. Of course, there are many other sources, but that's a core element of where we will find the funding to repair the bridges, to complete the roads, including the coastal road. Thank you.
course, this is what we do.
Like this. Like this is okay. Yes. So, we are standing here now.
Sorry.
It was bombardment. We came from here from Lagos. This is going into the RCCG area. This is going to Canada. This is the project connection from
Yeah, why do you say this is RCC? So from here to here is not there.
Yes, this is our
So this is your job.
so all this in here is in
No, this is also your job.
yes.
This is your job. From here to here is how much? 300 meter, will they get to it? Yeah, but we're not going beyond this. What is looking at it?
Hey, you! Stop!
Go!